Blaze King has cracked the code on multi-day burns. Today we're going to talk about how they do it. Here we are, Fireplaces by Cameron, my favorite room in the house, the wood stove happening all around me. Today we're going to talk about Blaze King and what makes it the most efficient wood burning stove on the planet. I've had one in my house for 8-10 years now. Multiple houses I would add. The Princess. But we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about the King and what every one of you wants to hear about. 40-hour burn times. Is it legitimate? I would suggest in the perfect conditions, absolutely it is. That you can get 40 hours out of them burning the right fuel with the right temperature set and letting that thing smolder. The most unique part about this guy, the airflow runs through the stove through one path, going to be coming through your tubes here, delivering a single supply of oxygen. There's no secondary burn system. This cat is where all of the airflow is going to be running through. Believe it or not, there's hardly any fire going to be taking place in the firebox when you're running this thing at highest efficiency, longest burn. All the heat is going to be taking place in the moneymaker right there. The catalyst sitting up there, going to be glowing away, and most of the heat produced in this unit is actually going to be up in the head. And of course, they got all the steel to get that heat retention to maximum efficiency. What I love about the Blaze King is your wife, your kids, you can go outside, leave all the doors, windows open. This thing is going to be sitting behind the scenes, not thinking about it, not touching any controls. Automatically, that coil is going to open up, deliver more air into the firebox, and automatically start pumping out more heat. The cool thing about this, don't need to touch it, no electricity required, and it's going to deliver the most efficient heat to your home for virtually a day and 3/4. 40 hours is what they rate this puppy at. What we're going to talk about is the downside of the Blaze King 40, most efficient wood stove on the planet. 40-hour burn times. The downside to this guy, it has an 8-inch flue. It needs to be able to move that air and draft effectively. And to do that on a stove this size, it needs an 8-inch flue, which is pretty much the only limiting factor to this guy, other than the fact that it's huge. I could park a Buick in the front end of this thing, load a quarter cord of wood right in the front door. That's the only downside. We hear it all the time here. I would put a King in my house if I could handle it. I didn't have the ability to put an 8-inch flue in. It can be a costly add-on if you're retrofitting from a standard 6-inch flue, but sometimes it's worth it. Everybody's looking at that 40-hour burn time and going, damn, I want a piece of that myself. But what I would say, if you do not want to put an 8-inch chimney in your house or don't have that option, new construction, of course, it's easy. We do that all the time. Stick with a 6-inch flue. You're going to get everything else in the Blaze King lineup, from the Boxer, sexy modern, Sirocco 30, Sirocco 20, the Princess 32, the best-selling wood stove that we have on the floor. Ooh, look at that thing. It's basically the King. The Ashford, also 6-inch. You're going to get that 30-hour burn range out of the 30 series stoves. So the Sirocco, the Princess, the Ashford, the Chinook 30, those guys are all going to be in the 30-hour burn range. Still super efficient. I think if you're like me, the key is making it through the night. The worst part about having a wood stove, pretty much any traditional wood stove, it's going to struggle to get to that 8, 10, 12-hour range. Depends how much you sleep, I guess. These Canadian winters can be a little bit tiresome, but that's why the Canadians made the most efficient wood stove on the planet right there. If this video has provided any value to you whatsoever, please like, subscribe, share. We appreciate it big time, growing the channel. We want to impact as many people as possible on the educations of the wood stove industry, also the custom home building industry, also the modular home industry.